As many of you already know, I was mistaken for a violent criminal. And I'm here to tell you that kind of mistake doesn't just go away. Too many times the system gets it wrong. Being accused of something you didn't do, something you had nothing to do with. It's frustrating, it's exhausting, and it changes your life. It messes with your name, your peace, and your trust in everything around you. Because when you know you're innocent and the people around you know it too, but the system still treats you like you're guilty, that does something to you. That's what system failure is about. Real stories, real people, real consequences when the system fails. On this episode, I'm sitting down with someone who knows this experience firsthand. Mr. Senrick Wilkerson, also known as Mr. Sin, and author of Innocent Black Man. And today, he's not just telling a story, he's speaking out. Gordon? So, I just kind of want to get into it. You and me, we've been talking for a couple of days now about your story. And
Yes, sir.
man, I can just say that this book, I don't know, I keep showing you this, I keep doing this because
Yeah,
it's so
thank
much
you.
to it's so much to unpack in this book that you wrote. And it's hard to, I guess, because I dealt with this sort of situation
Hmm.
with my mistaken identity of being a violent criminal and not having
Right.
to not the. Kind of help. But you
Hmm.
have all these people that are in like supporting you. I looked like
Yeah.
toward the end back of the book when you talk about
Hmm.
people that are speaking on your behalf. You've got quite a few people in here that got your back. So
Oh,
I thought
if
I thought that was pretty cool.
that's a list, that's a long list, man. That could be the size of one of the biggest Bibles of people that know me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
From growing up to even, let me say this. I go to the gym at least, sometime I'll hit the gym twice a day,
Hmm.
or at least 5 times a week I'll hit the gym.
Okay.
And it's this lady, her name is Marilyn. She's like 84 years old.
Oh wow.
And I would see her, and I'm friendly. So
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
speak
yeah,
to everybody
yeah.
because when I go to the gym, it's therapy for me. Because if I get into a conversation with someone, this comes up. My story comes up.
Yeah,
And like I
yeah.
said, it's therapy. So I spoke to her a couple of years ago. And I said, "Hey, how you doing?" It was right after New Year's. I said, "Did you have a new Happy New Year?" And she turned around and she hugged me. She said, "Oh my God, you finally spoke to me." I always say hi, and we just started conversating, and we sat
Yeah.
down on the bench, because she was old and she was a little tired, and
Hmm.
she was just getting into her workout.
Yeah.
And she said, she said, "I watch you. You just look like you don't have a care in the world. You come in the gym." I said, "Oh, if you only knew." So when I told her my story, how I was illegally convicted for rape, that white woman put her arms around me and cried. She said, "There's no way in
Wow.
hell did I even see that in you. There's no way." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's it's difficult to carry that when they put that on. They made me into a
Absolutely.
rapist. They made
Absolutely.
me into a rapist. It wasn't by accident. It wasn't by false identity. It wasn't by, oh, the DNA didn't match, or they did this with intent.
All right. Let's start right there. Let's just start right
Okay.
there. So for people who don't know your story, yet, who is Mr. Sin? Who is this
Mr.
guy?
Sin. I man, I used to be air sin back in the day because I played
Okay.
basketball, and I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
a taste of Michael Jordan, and I was like,
How tall
because
are you? How tall are you?
I'm 5'9". I'm
Okay, so
five nine.
you're above average or average, the average height.
Yeah, but I had a my last recorded vertical was like a 45. You know,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I but I could play. I could play. I ended up
Yeah.
playing professional in Europe. Okay. So
Nice.
after that, that's a long story, but after that, I got into the adult lifestyle and I became Mr. Sin because I
Okay.
surrounded myself with women. I became a businessman, and that people can figure it out because they get scared of the word pimp. So I really don't want to say that because I don't want viewers to, oh my God, because everybody, if you in any lifestyle, everybody is not bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
they would label me when they hear that word, I'm automatically labeled as a bad person because this is
Mm,
not something that I've done my entire life. You know what I mean? So that's how I became Mr. Sin.
okay. So what is something about you that people don't see or understand? What's the thing you want people to know?
Uh, I'm the most friendliest person that you could ever meet. I speak to everybody. I'm non-judgmental.
Yeah.
Um, I my mother is my beautiful mother is 89 years old,
Oh,
and you can only imagine what she went through. Like all the racist mess that's going on today,
yeah.
try to imagine what she went through. And she
Yeah.
told me some stories while I was in college. I'm like, hold on, I'm at home with you in high school. You talking about college professor, and you tell this story. I had no idea. Well, she never raised us to be racist. She never raised us to dislike white folks. She raised us to treat people like you want to be treated. And
Yeah.
I carried that with me the entire because I grew into my own man, you know, because
Absolutely.
I had a dad, he wasn't around, but I didn't care about that. I had older brothers, and then my mother was strong enough to show me, hey, man, woman, but she was that powerful as a single parent to where I
Mm,
learned how to grow into my own manhood and figure out what
yeah.
because sports helped me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm a really friendly person. Um, after going through what I went through, going to prison like that, I anger easily. I anger easily. You know, I
Can
mean, it
you
takes a lot, but not.
so
You know
you,
what I
you
mean?
mentioned you talk about being angry. Can you just take me back to when everything first started? What was going through your mind
Well, with the trial or
with the whole thing from the beginning when you learned that you were going to be convicted as this criminal who raped
this
someone,
criminal.
allegedly raped
Okay,
someone.
so
Uh,
in
take me
2000 and okay, I'm gonna go back to 2008 when I was doing my thing. I invested money into a adult lingerie modeling studio. It was designed
Mhm.
like a massage place, you know, and I covered my tracks. I crossed my T's and dotted my I's. You had to be 18 years old or older to work there. You were an independent
Yeah.
contractor.
Hmm.
In that lease agreement that you signed, it said no nudity, no prostitution. That protected me if you got caught. Okay, it was supposed to
Yeah.
protect me. Well,
Yeah.
this person came up here. Her name was. Do you want me to say names? God, I don't care. My sentence is
Uh,
over. So
you can say names. You can say
yeah,
names.
yeah.
But if you
Her name was Destiny Austin. She came up there
okay,
for 3 days. Um, she didn't do any
and
appointments.
names, the names are in the book, so
Oh
you
yeah,
know
names
that's
in the
okay.
book. Yeah, that's right. So yeah. I'm not afraid. So yeah, she came. Destiny Austin came up there for 3 days. Her first day, um, she didn't do any appointments. Her
Hmm.
second day, she did one appointment, but she didn't do any prostitution. She did not do any prostitution. Okay.
Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
third day, I was at the gym playing basketball, and I got a phone call for two of the ladies that was up there. It was Destiny and two other ladies that were working
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So I'm getting these phone calls, and I'm like, "What's going on? I'm playing ball." well, Destiny's up here. She got drugs. She's doing this. She's taking her paperwork out the filing cabinets. And so I called up there and, oh, they were going to jump on the girl because one of them caught her stealing money out of the other purse. And I
They
called up
caught
there.
Destiny.
I said,
They caught
Destiny.
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 Okay.
They caught Destiny stealing money out the other girl's purse. And the other
Oh
girl
wow.
said, hmm?
Wow. I know. I said
Yeah,
wow. That's
yeah. So she said, when the other girl get out of her appointment, we gonna beat her ass. I said, no, do not put your hands on that girl. Don't nobody know her. So I called up there, put her on the phone. We exchanged words. You know, she said what she said. I said what I said, and I wasn't polite. And she left. I wasn't going up there.
yeah.
I just said enough to get her to fear me enough to go. But she wasn't afraid of me. She was talking, you know. So she left. So that was actually in April of 2008.
Okay.
So May 1st, they had me on a phone call. It was a recorded phone call. I had no idea I was being recorded. And I know I know I have all that in my book. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to your
Yeah.
question.
You list a lot of dates in here.
Yes.
I highlighted some of them as I felt like a lot of this is well, all of it is important, but like
Mm-hmm.
with those dates, they really allow us, the reader, to kind of picture the stuff and make it real in our own brain. Like you have these dates and this details and specific things that are going on
Mm-hmm.
that protect you and to also
Both.
help tell your story.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Help the
I, I
reader.
appreciate I appreciate you just including the details and having
Okay.
um, that um, that moment to share with us to make us understand that this is actually real. This is really happening.
Exactly. Yeah.
At what point did it hit you like this shit is really happening to me?
It's really so. Here's where she let's go forward minus the phone call.
Okay.
She had got arrested after I made her leave my place. She had got
Uh-huh.
arrested a few weeks later for shoplifting, and uh she was wanted for being a runaway, and in addition to that, she had an assault charge. Okay.
Okay.
So this girl ended up being 16. We had no idea because she had an ID that said she was 19.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but again, with all that, she didn't do anything in my building. So I'm like, okay, I'm good, not knowing the law because the law will trick
Mhm.
you up. Well, September the 7th, 2008, kicked in my doors, arrested me. Worst thing they did was had guns to my head and my son's head. We was the only one home. It was all a setup. They had CPS there. Why would CPS run into something like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was all a setup. So they took me in. Finally, I was just being detained at the time. They wouldn't tell me
Yeah.
what I was being charged with. They wouldn't tell me anything. So when I got this detective Michael McMurray, he had been
Hmm.
after me for a long time. Okay,
And why? What was he after you
because
for?
because in 2004 I was in a strip club with a white girl, and we was having fun, and he was just, and I was telling my chick, I was like, I got one of them rednecks that's he don't like you over here with me, and a lot of women were coming to the table.
Yeah.
Okay, and he was just staring. Something happened. Got into it. We're going outside with the bouncers. I got my hands up and I told the bouncers, don't put your hands on me in this club. We're going to go outside and I'm going to handle my business because I'm
Yeah.
not going to let nobody put their hands on me. So this white man get in my face. He put his finger in my chest. Dude, you can't touch me. I don't care. You can't touch me. He put his finger in my chest and asked me if I wanted to go to jail. I slid that white boy over the table. I said, man, you better not ever put your hands on me again. And the bouncers was like, they was like, little did I know that was an undercover.
Okay.
So he been after me ever since, bro. Ever
Wow.
since.
Wow.
So when they arrested me, he comes in and I'm looking at him. I was like, that's that. That's that. I don't forget. I don't fight like that. I don't do. But the fights that I do have,
Yeah.
I remember who I fight in case I see them
Of course.
again. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because I don't want you to run up on me. So when
Hmm.
he walked through there, well, first when he walked through my house, I was looking at him. And then when we got to the station, he comes in because I asked for a lawyer 3 times. Let me talk to my lawyer. Oh, we'll be right back. We'll be right back. You know. So when I asked for a lawyer, bro, you ain't supposed to do no interviewing. There's no interviewing. When I
Yeah.
say lawyer, there's no interviewing.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
jam me up. So they took me to another room. I was compromised. He said, he showed me, he read me my Miranda rights, showed me some pictures. Yeah, she work here, she work here. And then he showed me a picture of Destiny. I didn't know that was her. I was like, I don't know who that is. He said, yeah. I said, I don't know who that is. He said, yes, you do. That's Destiny. She used to work at your studio. I picked it up and threw it down. I said, that's not her. He said, yes, it is. I'm going back and forth with this dude. And then it dawned on me. I'm like, I picked it up. I said, hold on, this is a mug shot. I said, oh, I get it. She done got arrested. Now she trying to use me. I said,
Mm.
okay, what you want? Well, once we take your DNA and we're gonna prove that you raped her, I said, take it right now. Take it right now. Blood, semen, urine, whatever you want, partner. Come on. Because whatever you're trying to do, I'm gonna beat it.
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna charge you with rape. And I hit the table when he said rape, it pissed me off. Okay. Stuck me to jail. I got booked in. They charged me with compelling prostitution. I had no idea what that meant at the time, but that means
Hmm.
a minor. Okay. So I got indicted in October of 2008. Now I have court dates. Okay.
Yeah.
When my lawyer, Calvin Johnson, who I graduated from Howard Payne University with, another black man, was supposed
Hmm.
to be my boy, called me to the office, showed me the discovery.
Okay.
How did they know the girl was even there? I said, you tell me. He said, they don't have
Mm.
nothing. I said, make this go away. He said, man, I'm going to squash this. So he picked up a cassette tape. He said, this is the only thing I'm worried about is this cassette tape. I'm going to listen to it tonight and call you tomorrow. Because he and I still play ball at 24-hour fitness every Tuesday and Thursday. We were still cool.
Yeah.
He'll call me, ask me to come have a drink with him. He's supposed to be my boy. You know what I'm saying? So the next day, I called him. He's like, say, big dog, man, you must have knew that they was recording you. I said, no, and I didn't care. He said, man, you batted down everything they was trying to do. I'm going to make this, I'm finna get this dismissed. I said, hurry up because I don't deal with criminal shit. Okay.
Right. Right.
So at that point, it still wasn't real for me. All I know is I was innocent of this compelling prostitution. I had plenty of women. I had 4 ladies that were with me, and there was other ladies doing their independent thing, wrote out
Yeah.
statements. We going to trial if we got to go to trial for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
wasn't worried. 2 years later, here come the new charges. Here come the rape charges. Destiny
Mm.
Austin is in jail again. Now, it's still not real to me because I'm going to get to your question. It's still not real to me because
Yeah.
when Calvin had his paralegal call me to tell me to call him from a payphone, it was December. No, no, no. It was November the 29th when
Hmm.
his paralegal told me to call him. November the 29th, 2010. She said, Calvin wants you to call him from his payphone. I said, for what? I pay my cell phone bill every month. We talk all the time on
Yeah.
my cell phone. I called him. He answers. big dog, I need you to leave the state and hide. I said, for what? Picked up some new charges. What? Man, you picked up some new charges. He would not tell me what those charges were.
Why
Okay.
not?
He was setting me up. He was setting me
So,
up.
what made you know that you were being set up? Like, at what point? Uh, why did you think you were being set up? At what point?
Because
Why did you?
number one, what attorney would call you and say, hey, you have some new charges? Or have you called them and say, you have some new charges? Leave the state and
Mm-hmm.
hide. A bond company, because I was out on bond for the compelling prostitution charge for 2 years. Okay.
Right.
Number one, my bond was going to be forfeited.
Okay.
Number two, the bond company going to contact me. You need to come in. Why? I check in all the time. Because if you come
Yeah.
in, they're going to have them folks, hey, sit right there. Them folks going to come get you. We're talking about
Yeah.
rape charges. These are serious allegations.
They are.
Okay.
They are.
The bond company did not forfeit my bond after they put up these new charges. They did not forfeit my bond because I called the bond lady, because me and the bond lady was talking about hooking up, going to dinner.
Okay.
We was like, I had her cell phone, bro.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
texting and talking for like
Personal
2 weeks. Huh?
personal relationship.
Yeah, we was about to do that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So if anything, she would have been like, hey, we need something. You know what I mean? So when I called her on the 29th of November, no, I called her November the 30th of 2010.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, what's going on? She said, hey, I'm at work. I can't talk. Because we was talking about going to dinner that weekend. She said, I can't
Yeah.
talk at work. I said, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these new charges. She said, what you mean, new charges? You don't have no new charges? And I heard her type it in the
And that
computer.
was Gia? Was that
That was
Gia you
Gia.
were talking about?
That was Gia.
Yeah.
She said, I'm going to call Calvin. I will call you back. Don't go nowhere. She never returned my call. Calvin called me. He was furious.
Yeah.
Man, what you doing? Don't call no bond company. You're going to mess everything up. I was like, mess everything up, bro. If I have some new charges that you're not telling me about, I need to get a bond, because I don't spend a night in jail, player. I don't do overnight in jail. I don't do that. I
Yeah.
don't eat bologna sandwiches.
Yeah.
So he just told me to chill. He was going to figure it out. That Friday came, was December the 3rd. He called me. Now, mind you, the dude told me on the 29th, when he told me to leave the state and hide, he told me that the FBI was tapping my phone.
Did you believe him?
If the FBI was tapping my phone, they'd have been knocking on my door every day.
Yeah.
Because I was
What made
still handling
why
my
would he
business.
why would he lie? Why would he is it to scare you? Is it
Set
to
me up. He was setting me up. He was
okay.
scaring me into, oh my God. Because he told me, man, you're gonna go to prison, man.
Yeah.
I can't beat this. Like, dude, I'm not afraid, because I know I got God. I'm not afraid, bro. I am not afraid of anything. And I
Yeah.
faced my biggest fear by going to prison like this, bro.
Yeah.
So that Friday, he called me. Now, remember, I'm supposed to be tapped by the FBI.
Right.
Why would you call me and I'm being tapped by the FBI and ask me to come to court? I got everything figured out. So I told my mom, I said, Mom, here go some money. Here's Gia's cell phone number. She gonna come
Yeah.
get me. Just call her, she'll come get me, and tell her I'll give her the money later, or she can come pick it up.
Okay.
So I met him down there. This dude folded back some papers and told me to sign them.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to read it. Like, what am I signing?
Right. Like
man,
with
this,
anybody, a normal person would want
I
to know
want to
what they're
know what
signing.
I'm looking at, what I'm
Yeah.
about to sign. He told me it's going to take the warrants off because there's supposed to be a warrant out for my arrest. Now, they kicked my doors in for compelling prostitution 2 years
Mm,
prior. Why
yeah.
y'all didn't kick my doors in? Because y'all said I raped a white woman with a gun to her head. Why you not gonna come kick my doors in? So I'm expecting to go to jail. Okay. He still never told me what those new charges were.
Hmm.
So that Friday, when he had me sign those papers,
On
and I went
December 3rd.
home December the 3rd, that was a Friday. I signed the papers because, I graduated from college. We played ball together in college. I figured he was
At
going to
Howard
fix
Payne.
this at
Howard Payne
Howard
is
Payne
poignant.
University.
I like how you. I'm not trying to cut you off, but I
No.
like how you said the details that you include because you talk about Howard Payne and how y'all
Mm-hmm.
were boys and how
Yeah.
you played basketball together and
Yeah.
you trusted this guy. You trusted
That's
this guy because you had a rapport and a relationship. So you wouldn't think that somebody like this who you have a relationship with, a
would
good
do
one
that.
at least, would do something like this. Yeah,
Would do something like
yeah.
that. Like, he ain't. I mean, we was good like that. Like, if I say, hey man, come over here, sit down with me. You call me, hey man, come holler at me, man. Meet me up here. That type of thing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we wasn't on the phone all day, every day, but I can reach out to him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Well, I signed those papers and I went home. What I later learned after I got illegally convicted, I signed some personal reconnaissance bonds,
Mm,
PR bonds.
yeah.
A personal reconnaissance bond, and I'm going to quote the Black Law Dictionary. A personal reconnaissance bond is the release of a defendant,
Yeah.
meaning that I had to have been incarcerated in order for you to release me on a PR bond.
Yeah.
Okay? You
Right.
can't send me home and here, sign this. Oh, you released on a PR bond
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
read me the charge. You see what I'm saying?
I
They
got
just
you.
they just manufactured that paperwork up and put it toward the record.
Hmm.
Okay. So that was December the 3rd. December the 13th, I had a court date for the compelling prostitution charge only.
So 10 days later, you had a court
I
date
had a
after the
court
court.
date. I had a court date for compelling prostitution only. That's in the record.
Mm,
Didn't know anything. Nothing was discussed about sexual assault or sexual performance. I show up to
yeah.
court. Calvin comes in late as usual, takes me downstairs. I was like, what are we doing down here? He said, man, you don't want Judge Lewis. I said, why? She used to be a juvenile judge. I said, that's exactly who we want. So she needs to read right through these lies. Nah, man, hold on. I'll be right back. He goes out, comes back in with a plea agreement. He said, big
Mm.
dog, I need you to sign this 12-year plea agreement. I said, you got me messed up. I said, I wish I would.
Yeah.
Now, I'm thinking he trying to get me to sign a 12-year plea agreement for the compelling prostitution charge. Say, bro,
Hmm.
I already told you, if I don't have to doo-doo, I'm not going to sit on the toilet. I will not sign for something that I did not do.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. That doesn't make any sense, right? You sign. That's like agreeing to something that you never
That I
agreed
didn't
to.
do. He
Yeah.
said, man, the judge going to get mad and give you 60. I said, he can give me 60 life sentences because I'm not signing for something I don't do. I don't do that, bro. I don't do it.
Yeah.
You cannot scare
So
me
so
into this.
so mentally, you and I talked before.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, through in your mind, right? Like as a human being,
Mm-hmm.
what is happening to you mentally as you're going through this process, as you're talking to these people, as you
Yeah.
dealing with the BS, as you're doing all the things and dealing with that. How, because at one point you talk about losing your faith or not
Yeah,
having faith,
yeah.
and at another
Well,
point you talk about regaining it. But through your mental space, where are you throughout all this?
right there, I had actually custody of my son, who's living with me right now. He's 18.
Mhm.
My
Okay.
son was 3 years old when they did it, and
Yeah.
then my mom was living with me, and my son wakes up to wake me up. That's how we were close. I was so overprotective over him because I've had fathered other children. Even my last wife, my ex-wife, took my babies away from me,
Hmm.
just because it didn't work out. And when I had Eric with one of the ladies that I had with me, I'm like, if you leave, the baby staying. I don't give a damn.
Hmm.
That's it. So I was thinking about my son, and
Yeah.
I knew they're about to do something. They're about to do something. And then I was
Yeah.
thinking about my mom, you know. And I mean, when I'm sitting there at that table waiting on him to come back in, refuse to sign the plea agreement, I'm like, okay, they're about to do
Yeah.
something. So I need to figure out how I'm gonna get out of this. And I started talking to God. I'm like, God, there's no way that you can let this happen. So when I went before the judge, because I refused to sign the plea agreement, the judge said, so you don't want to, I'm like, I'm not signing no 12-year plea agreement. I'm innocent, Your Honor.
Mm.
They said, well, we're going to trial tomorrow, compelling prostitution, sexual performance, and sexual assault. Man, I tripped out.
Yeah.
Where do these sex charges come from? I never got arrested. I never got arraigned. Not one court date. No, nothing. Nothing.
You
So
know,
I went to trial the next day.
yeah.
You know, that's when it got real. When we
Yeah.
picked out this jury. But that night before we picked out the jury, which was December the 13th, 2010, Calvin, man, meet me at Taco Cabana. That's his place where he liked to eat. Met him at Taco Cabana. My son's mom shows up. My son's mom was the state's witness,
Terry, right?
Terry. She was the state witness.
So
Okay.
I like to get to know characters in the when I'm like, so I've been trying to, in your book I was trying to
Yeah.
learn everything. Gia, Brenda, Terry,
Yep. Yep.
Destiny, Calvin Johnson, the racist prosecutor,
I appreciate
Brooke,
that. Brooke,
Brooke,
she in
Brooke,
trouble.
yeah,
She's in trouble in another city doing dirty stuff.
well,
They they got her in Wichita Falls, Texas, as a special sex prosecutor. I'm
okay,
like, boy, you white folks is crazy in the judicial system.
yeah,
They are
yeah.
crazy, bro. She
Um,
is horrible. But
were there moments where you felt like giving up? Like uh you sat there because like I off my initial question,
mhm,
um, when you're talking about where you are mentally and you start to lose faith. So
yeah.
in those moments of losing faith, are you giving up also? Like what are you feeling like?
I when are you speaking when I was like trying to reach out when I was asking Satan to help me? Are you talking about that part?
Yeah, I talk
Or
about when you talk about that part, but when you're saying you're mad at God, when you're
when
mad
I'm
at
mad at
angry
God?
at
I
yeah.
Hey man, the same time I was being angry with God for allowing this to happen because I knew and I still know that I haven't done anything to anybody in this world to deserve
Mhm.
what they did to me. Because karma
Yeah,
is a bitch, like they say. The Holy Bible
yeah,
teaches you what you will reap what you sow. I have not done anything to anybody in this lifetime, bro, to
yeah,
deserve what they did to me. Because it didn't
yeah,
just affect me, it affected my son, my kids, my mother, my brother, my sister, and my friends. It affected them. So I was at the point where I was not giving up on me, but I was giving up on God at one point
Mm.
to
Mm-hmm.
where like I used to say, I'm not Jesus Christ. Why me?
Yeah.
Why they took Jesus Christ to an illegal trial, but they arrested him before they
Right.
took him to an illegal trial.
Right.
They didn't arrest me and took me to an illegal trial. Why can't I call on 10,000 angels? I started reaching at God, bro. And I was like, man, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. I can't do this. Like, do what you're going to do. I tell you what, that's when I sat there and I had a mental breakdown. This was after I was illegally convicted. It
Yeah.
was a few months after I was convicted. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know how to pray to the devil. Because I know Satan don't have the skills to create. God does. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Satan don't create, he manipulates. Okay. So I'm like, check this out. I was like, check this out, Satan. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. I know you got the power on earth. If you can get me out of here, I'm gonna give you, I think I said 7, 10 days. I can't remember. I said, if
Yeah.
you get me out of here and you protect me and you let me raise my son and get my son up and get him to where I want him to be, dude, you can have my soul if you get me out of here.
Yeah. You talk about that on page 28. I
28.
high I highlighted
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Say,
I guess that was something good to
look,
highlight.
Satan. Look, Satan. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm a highlighter.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, you
Well,
say,
and
look, Satan, I know that you exist because God created good and evil. So I know that you are real. Here's the deal. And you just said, I will give
mm-hmm,
you my soul right
mm-hmm.
now, but you must fix it so that I can walk out of this jail as a free man. I will serve you in hell, but you must let me out of here so I can raise my son. That little excerpt there is real. It's deep
Mm-hmm.
because at this point you're trying to do some deep digging, some deep soul searching. It's almost like you've given up on God because he's
Yes, I
shown
did.
he's shown you that or you were allowed to be put in this place uh, where you did not deserve to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And so you say, I will never pay or I will never pray to God again if you can release me. 3 days from tonight, my soul is yours. And if you get me out of here, but you must allow me to live in the world so that I can keep my son from harm's way.
That's what I
Um,
wanted.
um, how do you hold on to your identity when the system is trying to label you as something that you're not? How do you,
I
I mean, tying into that, giving your soul to the devil, you lose a sense of identity, right?
Yeah,
You lose
yeah.
a sense of self.
I did that, and like I said, I had a breakdown when I did that. And I was sharing a cell with this big, real fat brother, could sing his butt off. He calls himself Misunderstood. And he sing beautiful voice. And he says, "Hey bro, let me talk to you." And we never talked. He said, "Let me talk to you, man." He kind of, because you're not in control of your soul. You know what I'm saying? God gives you free will. You can say what you want to say. You can do what you want to do. But I know God he's the finisher of it. So that wasn't by accident for me to be in the cell with that big old boy, for him to bring me back to reality,
Hmm.
because I felt like, and man, I got on my knees and prayed after that, because I know, Satan, you're a damn liar. Like I offered you. I'm a gangster. When it for God, boy, I fear none. I am a soldier for God. So I would have soldiered up for you if you'd have got me out. But I want to take care of my son. I want to take, and you cannot have my son. Okay. I was willing to offer me in exchange for let my son be and let me get out and raise my son. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I did not want to be away from him. So coming back, man, and just I started I got to where I was going to the little church services in the county every Sunday, and I met this beautiful brother named Randall, brother Randall. This brother is
Mm.
man, and I still talk to him to this day. And
Yeah.
he kind of just and I told him some things, and he was just kind of bringing me because we need our brothers to bring us back to reality,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
being labeled that way and then wrestling with my faith like that, man, it's if you are a God believer, if you're a believer in God and you walk with Christ, man, you're gonna have those moments.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
going to maybe not that extreme to where I'm like ready to because where I was at, brother, I had to learn how to live in hell because that's pure hell. If I commit these crimes, okay, cool. I got to eat that. But being innocent and then the way they did it, man, it it tore me to pieces. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
And it happens to so many of us, like we talked about with me. There's a guy in Missouri also named Christopher Dunn. He
Mm-hmm.
was accused of a murder that he didn't commit, and then there's also witnesses who said he committed that murder. Well, they walked it back and said that they were lying and they were coerced into um, telling the police and the prosecutors and everybody that this man did this, and there
Mm-hmm.
is DNA evidence, clear evidence that he did not commit the murder,
Mm-hmm.
and they still wanted to convict and charge
Convicted.
him with the crime. And they even fought until probably sometime last year to get him back in jail. He's been in a fight. He's been incarcerated for more than a little more than 30 years, 30 plus years. That's older than me. So we, you know, when you spend pretty much my whole lifetime in a jail
Mm-hmm.
uh, at 18 years old for a crime you didn't commit, I can only imagine what was going through his mind. But then
Man.
we've got your story and we've got my story where I personally didn't, thank God, didn't have to serve any prison time, but
Mm-hmm.
still,
Good.
it does something to my mental, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
being deemed a
Absolutely.
criminal. I'm not no criminal. I've never stolen anything like that. I've never committed felonies or thefts. So
Mm-hmm.
why would that be attached to my name? Why would y'all do that? Who made the error, right? Who put it in the system to make it look like I was a criminal? Um, and I
Uh,
guess I should have asked you this at the top. What made you decide to tell your story in the first place? I mean, I know, yeah, I can almost um, answer in a way frustration, anger, and you wanted to be honest because you wanted to share your story with other people who may be able to relate. Like me, I was able to. I'm glad that somebody even sent me your information because we
mm-hmm.
have a similar. We don't have the same story, but we have a similar story. We
Mm-hmm.
were fucked by the system,
By
right?
the
Being
system. Man.
black men in America.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well,
so what made you tell your story in the first place
number
through a
one,
book?
number one, I didn't get to tell my story during trial. I I didn't get when I got on the witness stand, when the prosecutor called their first witness, before the jury came in, the prosecutor, her name is Brooke Groner Robb. She said, Your Honor, before we
Uh,
get started,
yeah.
Destiny Austin picked up a few more felony charges along the way. I snatched Calvin. I said, "What do you mean? She's in jail?" He said, "Yeah, she in jail, man, on 3 felonies." So they put some new rape charges on me with a girl that's in jail, that's been in jail, looking at 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to tell my story, brother. That girl got on the witness stand and said, he held me down. No, she used the right hand. He held me down with this hand, and then in his other hand held the gun to my head and raped me. There's no discovery for these rape charges. I've never owned a gun in my life. I never kept a gun in my home, in my car. I don't fool with people. You can't get in my vehicle if you have a gun. I don't believe in them.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm if it come down, I'm not no messed up person, but it's gonna take you a lot to turn me into a hurricane because I'm gonna use these hands,
Hmm.
you know. So you can fight to live another day.
Yeah.
I've never ever wanted to be with around no gun toter, man. So I'm like, I'm beyond blown away when this girl said I had pulled a gun on her and raped her. This dude is standing there like this. The lawyer, not saying nothing. When I got on the stand, he said, "Do you want to get on the stand?" I said, "Hell yeah, I want to get on the stand." Got on the stand. Now, I watch special crime victim units. I watch Law and Order. I watch Denzel Washington play a hell of an attorney. I watch how attorneys brief their clients before you go to trial. This is
Mm-hmm.
what I'm going to ask you. Get them prepared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in a sense, we got to prepare for the
You
worst. I mean,
you
they
have
always
to.
tell us to prepare for the worst. So we have to.
That dude was making up questions. He was trying to get me to say I did something. I said, "Say, man, you the defense attorney that's supposed to be representing me." I said, "I don't understand what you're saying. You got to slow that down."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I really. So here comes the prosecutor. But before I got on the witness stand, because I'm finna eat this prosecutor ass up. That's all I had. It was 12 jurors, 6 whites,
Yeah.
3 blacks, 3 Mexicans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. In America, that's fair, I guess. I'm finna tell my side. So when the prosecutor cross-examined me, she never asked me one thing about Destiny Austin. She never asked me about a rape. She never asked me about a gun. She didn't ask me anything. All she
Mm-hmm.
asked me was, only question she questioned me about was my adult place of business. And then I
Yeah.
had a big house and I got to get my nails done. And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? She would not ask me anything in relation to a gun or a rape. Before I got on the stand, Calvin grabbed me. He said, "Do not get up there and say you're innocent because if you do, the judge is going to get mad and give you 60 years." That's the third time that dude threatened me with 60 years.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there waiting on the prosecutor to ask me something so I can burn her ass up. But she wouldn't. She wouldn't. They did a number on me, bro.
So was it hard reliving any of the moments when you were writing?
When I was writing it,
Yeah.
um, I wrote it and then I proofread it and I cried all the way through.
Like this
I'm
actually
talking
happened.
about, hmm?
Like this really
Yeah,
happened.
like, and it's still surreal to me, man. I I cried all the way through after I read it, and I still ask God, like, everybody's like, "Oh, there's a reason why." Like, what reason could there be? Because let me say this, brother. People, you cannot compare my case to anybody. Not one person in this world, thousands of years ago. Back now, I talked about Jesus being arrested and went to trial, an illegal trial. They arrested him. So that means they had a system where you get in trouble, you getting arrested and
Right.
thrown in the dungeon and waiting for a trial. Now, however that went, because that was thousands of years ago, I don't know, but that system has always, and it just evolved.
Hmm.
Okay. So it always has to be an arrest before any prosecutional process can begin, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I did not get, so nobody can compare that case to me. Not
Yeah.
one person, because I never got arrested for these rape charges. Never. No arrest, no arraignment, but they falsified several arrest dates.
And no DNA. No DNA proof.
And you know, there's no DNA because the police never investigated these rape charges. There's no investigation. There's no discovery. If you don't have discovery on charges, you cannot take anything to a grand jury to say, here we go, this is what we got, indicted.
Yeah.
They have nothing. They just force the indictments. So watch this. They filed the charges November the 22nd, 2010. November the 24th, 2010, they filed the indictments. That's a day before Thanksgiving. Wasn't no grand jury and panel before Thanksgiving. You ain't gonna get no grand jury indictment in no 2 days on no rape charges.
Yeah.
They said that Dallas police filed those charges. Right now, Dallas police are saying that they never filed those charges and they don't have no record. They said that you was not arrested for anything in 2010. That's newly discovering evidence because I just got that email in November of 2025.
Wow. Wow. What do you want people to feel after reading your book?
I want them to read that book and I want them to understand that if I'm a car thief and I'm a known car thief, and that's what I do, and I get caught, and you can't convict me on car thief, don't put a murder charge on me just because I'm doing something that's illegal. Get me for what I'm doing, okay? In other words, me being a pimp then, being a businessman, you hate me so much and you cannot touch me on that. You put a rape charge. You put rape charges on me. So people, oh my God, oh, well, if you was a pimp, well, you was doing that. So, okay, well then that's not how the law works. That's not how the world should work. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want them to understand that I'm gonna talk about black folks first. I'm gonna talk about that black man first. You have to be careful with the way the system is because it's designed for us to fail. No matter what. It's designed. I watched it was called the Linnell Jeter story. You probably too young for this. This brother was a engineer, a black man.
Hmm.
I watched this in high school, brother. They said he was robbing fast food restaurants through the drive-through. They convicted that black man. He was a successful engineer. I watched that movie and I said, "Oh my God, I'm afraid that that's going to happen to me one day."
Hmm.
You know, I
Wow.
want when you read this book, I want them to understand that when I when I spoke about giving my soul to Satan, my son, I fathered other kids, and my baby mama kept me from my kids, but not this one.
Hmm.
And my son, that's my best work. I always tell people that's my best work. And when they took me away from him, my son was molested several times. Okay. he was molested to the point where they had him thinking he was a girl, you know. So my son evolved into being gay, and I love him to death. I love my son to death.
Yeah.
Had that not happened to me, and I blame them, okay? I blame them because had that not, if that not put me in prison for that, my son would not have, you know. But still, I love him, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And when you read this book, the story, everything is the truth. And I would like viewers to read this as if it was like you did, like you read a Bible highlighted, because the story is going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure it did you.
Yeah.
It's the
Absolutely.
news journalists don't believe me. They will not believe me. You
And that's
know,
unfortunate. That's
and
unfortunate. Because the media is our biggest friend and foe.
mm-hmm,
Uh,
true,
it, it helps and it hurts. It leaves room for a conversation like you and me, like we're having right now,
mm-hmm,
to get your story told, so that people have not just one side. They get a chance to, because you can tell your story, but they get a chance to find out for themselves in the book, and through other research if they want
yeah.
um, to find out what's really going on. And that's
If
the
I'm lying, they can like in my for private investigator that goes to the courts, and he said one dude, everything in this book is a lie because I republished it. It was with just me on it, but I
Mhm.
redid it because I got more documents. Like I have
Yeah,
some other stuff to put in there now
yeah,
that's
yeah.
newly discovered. And my private investigator, his name's Jim Nixon. He said, I didn't know you wrote another book. I said, I didn't know I wrote another book either. I'm at his office. He said, so I pulled it out because I brought it to him. He said, yeah, you wrote another book. I said, no, I just republished it and I did it better. It's
Yeah,
better.
yeah,
Same story, but I added a lot more things in it.
yeah,
He said, man, that white boy held this book up. He said, everything in this book is a damn lie. I said, tell him to take me to court for defamation of character because I would love to sit in front of a judge and go page for page.
yeah,
I would love it.
yeah. I I mean, I'm outdone with the book already. Like I said, you and I have been talking, and you see, I've highlighted. You see my little
Yeah.
tabs and
Mm-hmm.
the little stickies and stuff right
Mm-hmm.
there. You know,
Bro,
I can't believe, but I can, in a sense that this would happen to somebody because of how the system, does it. If someone only takes one message from your story, what should it be? One message.
man,
And you
it's,
time.
it's this is a difficult story, man. It's in and I'm gonna answer that question. I mean, I'm trying to get because I've never been asked that
Yeah.
because I would expect for when someone read it, it's always, oh my God, I can't believe they did it. I can't believe that I can't believe it, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So you just have to be careful with the system.
Yeah.
You have to be careful with the system. And I'm not saying put your lips on somebody's butt because I don't kiss butt. I don't. I
Mhm.
as mad as I was with God, as mad as I am sometimes every other week, we wrestle. You know, it's I always like, why? Why am I still dealing with this?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want me for? What can I tell people about this? Because they want to kill me, man. They don't want me here. They want me back in prison so I can shut up because you don't have no fight in prison.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
really surprised that they haven't tried to take me out. But to when to the readers, if you read this, read it twice.
Yeah.
And then understand where I was coming from, where I'm no angel. Was I doing something that society say is not good? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a rapist.
Yeah.
I am not a rapist. I have never in my life made a woman do anything that she didn't want to do. Even in that lifestyle, if a young lady said, I'm not happy here, I want to leave, I help them pack and I'll send them out the door, you know. So just get the story and understand the story that happened to me. Because I don't they this won't happen again, I guarantee you. It will not happen. If I can get this in the world news, if the world news pick this up, it's gonna shame Dallas County. It's gonna shame the state of Texas. It's gonna
That's
put them
good.
to shame
That's a good segue into my next question. Why do you think the system gets it wrong so often? Why?
because they can. Because they can. And to them, it's not getting it wrong, it's getting it right for them. It's getting
Where
it
do you
right for
think?
them. Let me say this, and this might be uh, an apple to an orange, but in Dallas County, and this is what I discovered when I was in Dallas County, because I used to hear always, there's more black people incarcerated than there's anybody. And then they came up with, no, it's just as many white people in jail as there are black people. So as I'm in the county for 34 months, you get an armband, has your name, your booking number, and it has race, B for black, race, W for white, a Mexican, white for Mexican. They don't have M, it has a W.
Mm.
So there's a lot of Mexicans coming to jail. So, of course, it's going to look like there's just as many white folks in jail as there are black. The system. Oh, we got a way of tricking y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been designed for us, man. From the
What do you
history
think?
always repeat stuff.
What do you think needs to change so that this doesn't keep happening to other people? What do you think should? Is there a specific law? Is there a protocol that you think needs to happen so that people can not make mistakes like this or not set people up like this?
They say there's some good cops and bad cops. I disagree. All police are bad to me. You want me to tell you why? My opinion? Because if you got the good cops, protest and get the bad cops up out of there. Get them all out of there and start over so you can bring in good people. Okay? This it's gonna
Yeah.
always be ran by those folks because jail, prison is a business. They make money. They, if it's almost the world can change right now. Racism can change right now. We got a we got a rapist for a president. We got a criminal for a president. Donald Trump let black folks out of prison. Appreciate that, bro. Give us some more, you know. But you got somebody that's running the country who can step up on national TV where they'll stop every national program that's on. He can get on there and say, hey, we need to end racism right now. End it, everybody. If you don't end it, you're going to get 5 years in prison. There's a way to end racism, but they don't want to. They don't want to. It's the same thing with the system. They can change the system, but they don't want to. Go in there and get all them bad son of a bitches up out of there and
Mm-hmm.
get some good ones. Because there's people going to law school, graduating from law school every day, all over the country. And they take on a law. I want to be a lawyer. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. But then you gotta get along to get on. Because they start off good. You know what I mean? They start off good. But then you gotta come for it because it's a game. This is how this go. And if you don't abide by the rules, they're gonna get you up out of there. That's how it is. So to change it, get the bad folks out and bring the good, but it's never gonna happen because there's too many people that's higher up that can destroy. Think about the things that we see on TikTok with the music industry, with the selling of the souls. You better not say nothing. Cat Williams say you got to tell them no. Okay? If you don't get if you are approached and you say no, if you talk about it, you're not gonna make it. It's the same thing, brother. It's the same thing, man. So
So who are you? Who are you today, compared to who you were before all of this? Who are you
before this
now?
happened, man, look, and I'm gonna be real with you, brother, because I love you, man. Let me my battery getting low. Um
Okay.
no, let me plug it up. I am I'm that same person I was before this happened.
Yeah.
I'm the same person because I know I'm not a rapist. People that know I would never do anything like this, they get angry at me and they'll call me a rapist, pedophile. See, that's easy to throw in my face with it. You know what I'm saying? And for somebody that know me to say that, don't bother me much. But for somebody that don't know me, that call me that, it's just like you calling me the N-word. I'm gonna punch you in your mouth. That's how I feel. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
say gym is therapy for me. That's why I go. I talk to God more than I pray. And it's you can say it's praying. It ain't no wrong or right way to pray, in my opinion. Okay. So I'm the same dude, man. It's just I'm easily angered. That's why I stay out the way. Because I'm like I mean, I'm not rap tight. I'm not, I know I need therapy. That's why I go to the gym. My therapy is talking to people, talking to other people. I'll talk to a stray dog just sitting there. And
Yeah.
I'm serious, bro. I talk to birds. People probably think I'm crazy. I be talking to birds sometimes, just being goofy because I have to be goofy because I'm insane. Like for real, this is because I have to go to bed with this and wake up with this.
What does freedom mean to you now?
To me, man, that's a hard question because of what I went through and being. I'm getting ready to be 56 years old, and you're just never really free out here because it's always something. Just the world we're living in. You know, and and I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna get all spiritual, but then again, you can't help it because The spirit is always in the room when you talk about God. But if you ain't got God, you don't have nothing, because it's the devil is easy to, and a lot of times the devil don't even mess with us because we have free will. We gonna do it on our own, you know. But in my situation, I'm not free of these crimes because I have to register every 90 days as a sex offender. I have to go down there every 90 days. I have to renew my driver's license every year. So it's still like I'm locked up, but I'm outside. But I'm not free because I can't go to a I can't I have a degree in physical education where I can coach because I used to coach. I can't go fill out a coaching job because my background gonna get pulled up and they don't even know the story. Oh my God. You know what I mean? That's not being free.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, being free is sitting down with an interview and the interviewer pulling up everything, listening to me, doing some research and say, hey man, we seen all that. Guess what? I'm gonna hire you. To me, that's being free, because that means I'm free of what they thought about me for
Mm-hmm.
something that I didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
But
What would you say to something or somebody going through a similar situation or kind of the same thing? What would you say to them?
don't give up the fight. Don't give up. You have to persevere. Like, and again, I ask God this every day. Why? Why? I mean, why would you let them people turn me into a rapist at 40? At age 40.
Yeah.
I have a college degree, man. I'm
Yeah.
12 hours away from my sociology degree. We study psychology and sociology classes. We talked about rape and all this. We talk about how this starts. Something mentally is wrong with you. And it's either it could be a learned behavior or because it happened to you. Or you saw something and you got excited about it. It starts out when you're very young. A lot of times we don't know it. You know what I mean?
How do you
So
keep your voice when the system tries to silence you?
how do I keep my voice?
Yeah. How do you do that?
They can't silence me, man. They can they can tell me to they can tell me to quit. They told my private investigator, you need to tell him to stop. I won't stop putting nothing in court. I will not be quiet. You have to kill me. You have to kill me before I be quiet.
And coming on system failure, being on here, that I guess that helps keep your voice out there. Uh,
I appreciate it, man. I really do. I appreciate you having me on.
what does
You know,
resilience look like to you?
man. Um, if you were standing right here, I'd ask you to come walk in, look in this mirror with me, and I'll show you resilience.
I mean, from the way you sound right now, you sound pretty resilient. Like
I'm,
just
I'm,
our
I'm
conversation, I sense and see and hear all of the senses that we have. I get the resilience from you. Uh, I feel your honesty, the way your anger, right? Because
mm-hmm,
I was angry too, right?
mm-hmm,
When somebody's identifying me as a criminal, that's
mm-hmm.
something that you're happy about, right? Like
Nothing,
that's a what the fuck question.
brother,
Yeah.
brother. They, when you go to prison for rape, you're gonna be tested. Do if they find out, dudes find out, because the first thing these dudes, and see, it's a lot of ignorance that's locked up behind bars. Okay, And only thing I've ever been afraid of was God. I wasn't afraid to go to prison. I just didn't want to go.
Yeah.
I was going to beat this white boy up in the county because I'm fighting and fighting and fighting. And this one dude, he's like, man, sin, because I got legal mail every day. This white dude was like, oh man, sin, he just scared to go to TDC. So, hey man, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you in that corner. You you said I'm afraid to go to TDC. Boy, I ain't afraid of nothing. I'm not like you. Oh, you like 10-year-old girls. Yeah, I know about your story. I said, see, you finna have me point you out. Just because I'm in this sex offender tank don't make me no sex offender. I
Yeah.
said, if you got something to say to Mr. Thin, you say it to me. I'm that type of dude. I'm that type of dude. And I went to shake his hand and I said, I'm putting my hand out. But if I was you, I wouldn't shake my hand. Because I was gonna grab his hand and slam him on the ground for real. But behind that, that's me. And then I had to go in the cell and go pray. And see, this is what being incarcerated like that turns you into.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to stay away and remove myself from the ignorance and walk there as the same person as I walked outside. I had to learn how to be me on the inside of there,
Yeah.
which helped me. Okay. Because when guys find out when you hit the penitentiary, oh, he not for rape, he not for rape. Oh, they're gonna try to get at you.
Yeah.
But they did not bother me because I stayed in that law library. I became really good at the law. I got really good to where I was sending guys back on bench warrant. How good I got. Had some of the officers, I went to one unit, the officers were coming to me for legal help,
Hmm.
you know. Yeah,
Wow.
this right here, man, can turn into a movie, bro. It can turn into a movie for real. It can.
Yeah.
It
I
can.
mean, yeah. Easily. Easily. Yeah.
It can turn
Um,
into a movie.
I guess my final question here for you, Mr.
Okay.
Sin.
Okay.
Uh, if you could speak directly to the system, what would you say?
You're gonna have to learn to do the right thing. Falsely imprisoning people for money, that's wrong. You're not
For
only
cap
ruining, huh?
for capital gain, for money, all
Yeah,
you know.
you're 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 not only ruining that person, you're ruining that person's spouse or that person's children or that these people have family. Learn to walk in those shoes that you have wronged and then come back and talk about it. So and it would be like talking to a dead horse to these people, man, because I see how these people work. They don't give a damn. They'll convict your ass and go right to lunch and laugh with each other, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just it's if we can't get together. Watch this. I turn on TV sometime on the news and I see commercials where they want you to donate money to save some damn elephants. What? To save elephants. Why are there not any commercials with lawyers for people that are wrongfully convicted or falsely imprisoned? Why are there no commercials for that? The system, the judicial system does not, they don't want to be wrong. They don't want to be shamed. They don't. So to answer to your question again, please put yourself in the other shoes and realize that you do have family if you have family because karma don't bleed once a month. I think karma bleeds every day. and your day coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. You know, that's why I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. Even in that lifestyle, bro. If a female wasn't feeling me, my situation, and they say they want to leave, I make sure that they leave and leave comfortably. And guess what? They'll always want to come back because I like how that dude is. You know, there's some bad folks out there that's in this lifestyle. You know, and I know that, but you cannot classify everybody that way. And
Yeah.
for me being in what angers me the most is me being in that lifestyle. Just because I was in that lifestyle, don't make me no rapist.
Yeah.
So
Mr. Sin, thank
yeah,
you. Thank
hey
you.
man, thank
Uh,
you, man.
this book, Innocent Black Man, I mean, if you haven't read this, people, you should get a chance to read it. You'll get a chance to get to know Mr. Sin, his story, what it's about, and how you can, I don't know, apply it to your own life even. Uh, this story, like we've been saying, it's crazy. Uh, but I'm glad you're here to tell it.
Thank you, man.
A lot of
Thank you.
people don't get to do that. People don't know how. You know, some people are nervous and scared. You know, they're the when you talked about leadership in upper levels of leadership within the court, some people don't want to go after that because they're afraid, right? Like some people are genuinely scared to go after the system that wronged them.
Yes, man. Thank you. I really appreciate you having me on, man. I really do.
Yeah, thanks for coming. We appreciate you.
Anytime you ever want me on again, you got my number. Even if you don't, you call me. You got a new brother.
I appreciate you, brother.
All right, brother.
This is system failure. And remember, the system might fail you, but you don't have to fail yourself. Thanks for watching.